Welcome back to the King Film Sports Week 6 college football predictions, and let's get right into it with a recap of last week. We had a successful week, gaining 1.6 units overall, and here is our betting guide that we set out to the Discord. Reminder to join the Discord, link in description if you want some picks. We are currently on a big win streak, and we are at a year-to-date high right now with plenty of college football action coming up next week and in the coming weeks. So let's get into it with the recap, and let's start with our Friday games where we had Louisville at NC State. We had NC State plus 3.5. They did just enough, lost by 3, and covered in that one. Then we had Utah at Oregon State, got this one at -1, ended up closing just around 4.5 in favor of Oregon State, and this one was a blowout without rising. Oregon State was able to take advantage. The Utah defense held strong for a bit, but there was just no offense to be had. Oregon State wins easily. Then we had USC at Colorado. We had Colorado plus 24.5. Another one where we got great line movement, and the Buffaloes obeyed. This one closed at 21.5, and the Buffaloes made it a 7-point game at the end. Lots of window dressing by the Buffs, but they were definitely within the spread for a vast majority of that game, despite the early challenges by Caleb Williams' hot start. Then Florida at Kentucky. Ray Davis, 280 yards on the ground as Kentucky just ran it down Florida's throat. Kentucky minus 2.5 was a thoroughbred lock there. Then Texas A&M at Arkansas. Arkansas comes up short in the Southwest Classic, and Syracuse is unable to keep it close against a resilient Clemson team in the Dome. So that does not hit +7 there. Then the second page of locks, we had Auburn plus 18.5 against Georgia. They were easily within that the whole game. I thought they had a chance at winning, end up losing late, and it was a tough environment, but Georgia did get it done with the help of a huge game from Brock Bowers. Then Nebraska against Michigan. Nebraska plus 18.5 is what we had. Again, good line movement on this. Also had good line movement on that Auburn game, but Nebraska just was not up to it today. No offense to be had. Michigan is a truly dominant team through 5 games here. Kansas at Texas, we got correct, as Texas ran away with that one, but Daniels did not play, so we'll have to see what his injury status is there. Then the next lock we had was Ole Miss plus 2.5 against LSU. No defense to be had here. Legacy game for Jackson Dart and Lane Kiffin's biggest win so far at Ole Miss. They even got Quinshon Judkins going, so I like the outlook for Ole Miss going into the future. Plus 2.5 hits as they win outright. Then a late cover by Notre Dame against Duke ruins what could have been a way better day, but as Duke's quarterback Riley also goes down at the end of the game on a potential comeback drive, that lock goes up in smoke with the late touchdown and 2-point conversion by Notre Dame, and they hold on and advance. We will have a play on their game at Louisville in the Discord as well this week, but I'll break that down first. South Carolina at Tennessee. Brutal injury to Brew McCoy for Tennessee, but they do end up taking that one in a revenge of what happened last year when Hendon Hooker got injured at South Carolina, and then Memphis also takes care of Boise State at home. So before I get into it, once again, we are plus 10 units. We have surpassed the double-digit mark, and we'll try and keep that going this week. There's a lot of good spots out there this week, and once again, I will have my free play of the week on the second slide, but let's get right into it, where we've got K-State, Oklahoma State on the Friday night. I like Kansas State to come out here after the bye week and take care of business on the road in Stillwater. It's been a rough season for Oklahoma State. K-State was last seen getting a great win off a good UCF team that really choked against Baylor, but I like Kansas State here. Then Rutgers at Wisconsin, and this is the sneakiest game of the week. The winner of this is going to be a good one-loss team here with some good wins. Wisconsin's loss to Washington State on the road, and Rutgers, similarly to a good Michigan team, both got run out of the building in those. But if they can get a quality win here, they might be in the race. Rutgers, obviously, in the East won't be, but Wisconsin will take the driver's seat in the West if they can get this win at Camp Randall, and I like that to happen here. Marshall at NC State. We've got an undefeated Marshall team. Armstrong and NC State did not look good over the past few weeks. They have no offense there, but I like this defense to keep it intact, and I like NC State to beat Marshall there. Oklahoma against Texas, neutral site, Red River rivalry game, and I like Oklahoma here. A lot of people probably haven't watched Oklahoma. They're one of the most efficient teams in the nation on both offense and defense. Texas has been very good. They are battle tested, but I think Oklahoma can give them a good game, if not win this. Texas has had a couple sticky games where they've been in the fourth quarter. I think it's about time that they drop one I like Dylan Gabriel and the boys to get it done there against Quinn Ewers and that explosive Texas offense. I like the points, but I like Oklahoma to take that one outright. Maryland at Ohio State, also a great game of the week. Maryland's still not ranked, but a tough 5-0 opponent. I might have Maryland winning this outright if they were at home. It would be a big spread, but I like Ohio State. I think they're just going to be too much to handle. I'm still not sure about this offense, but I think that Marvin Harrison and the boys can get it done against Tualia and Maryland at home in the O there. LSU at Missouri. I'm actually going to have Missouri here, despite this being a must-win game for Brian Kelly and LSU here, as they already have 2 blemishes on their plate. I think LSU is the better team, but I think these fans will be out and about for Missouri here. I like Missouri to win this one outright, pull off the slight upset there. Then UCLA against Washington State. UCLA is actually favored in this game. I think a lot of people are going to be betting in on Washington State here, but I think UCLA is due for a bounce-back performance. Washington State was very reliant on Cam Ward during their win over Oregon State at home. I think that UCLA, it's usually not a tough road environment at all, but I think the travel, in addition to UCLA's offense getting back on track after the bye week, will be enough for this Bruin team to take it there. Then UCF against Kansas. UCF, I don't like them to bounce back here. I think the Jayhawks will be a tough out at home. Both teams are on the bounce back. I like the Jayhawks, but we'll see who plays quarterback there. And then second slide where we've got our free lock of the week. But first, Kentucky at Georgia in a ranked-on-ranked matchup. People are chirping Georgia's schedule, but this is one of their tougher games. I think Beck and the boys can get it done there, despite Kentucky's run game, which usually does travel. But we'll see how that Kentucky defense fares. I think it'll be just too much to overcome. Devin Leary has not played good at all. Only threw for 70 yards against Florida. I think Georgia can stop the run game, man up on the receivers, and I don't think Leary will be able to pick them apart. I like Georgia to win that one at home. Then Notre Dame at Louisville. I like Notre Dame in a close one here. I think the Louisville fans will be out and about as they are undefeated and now ranked this week. Notre Dame just escaped in a close one in Durham. I think the environment will be similarly hostile here at Louisville. It's been a while since they've had a team that's as good as they have right now. If they can get through Notre Dame here, then it might be wraps for them. They have a very gettable schedule, and we could be talking about Louisville as a very clear contender. But I think Hartman, Estime, and their defense can clutch it up here and win it on the road in a tough environment. Arkansas at Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss to take care of business here. Arkansas is definitely in panic road right now. And then they've got a date with Alabama next week on the road too. They really need this one, and I don't think they're going to get it. They played LSU tough, but Ole Miss just beat LSU. I like Ole Miss to keep it rolling. Jackson Dart, Quinshon Judkins, and the boys to take care of KJ, Jefferson, Rocket Sanders, and Pittman's Arkansas side there. Then we've got Alabama at Texas A&M. Texas A&M won this one last game. It was a close game in Tuscaloosa last year with Milroe at quarterback in that one. But this time, I like Texas A&M to get it done. Plus 3.5. This is my lock of the week. The main matchup that I've been looking for is this Texas A&M defense against Bama. The Texas A&M defense is gettable in the pass game, but Alabama doesn't really have a pass game. You saw that Auburn game. Auburn only had the rush. They got completely stomped out. This is going to be an insane atmosphere. I don't like Bama to score many points. I don't like Texas A&M to score many points either. Johnson looked decent against the Hogs, but I like Texas A&M to do just enough to win this one late. If not, they can just pull off the late cover. Maybe Bama wins on a field goal. We will see what happens there. That could be the game of the week right there. Syracuse at North Carolina. This one lost a bit of its luster when Syracuse lost at home to Clemson, but I like North Carolina to roll here. They haven't really faced a ton of adversity on their schedule. Nice road win at Pitt. And then the close one, surprisingly close with App State at home. Not really sure about this North Carolina team. I think they are legit for the time frame. I like May and the boys to get it done over Schrader and Syracuse there. Then Iowa against Purdue. McNamara out here. I still like Iowa to take care of Purdue, but this spread is very tight. I'll pick Iowa. I think this one will be low scoring. I think the Iowa defense can carry as always because this Purdue offense is just horrible. Then our group of 5 game of the week, Fresno State at Wyoming. And I like Wyoming to keep the magical season running in Moore Memorial, knocking off their first ranked opponent. Texas Tech was ranked in the coaches poll when they took them down. It's just going to be a tough game, tough to win in Laramie. A long way from Fresno State. Outside chance of snow in this one, so I think that favors Wyoming for sure. I like Andrew Peasley and this run game to get it done. Wyoming has a stout defense. So does Fresno State. I think Wyoming will be able to run the ball. They play a very clean game. So does Fresno State. But I think Wyoming and this crowd can get it done after dark here in Laramie. And then finally, Oregon State at Cal. Pac-12 after dark here. I like Oregon State to get it done. Just got that massive win over Utah. Have a pretty easy schedule of any of the contenders. Get a lot of their competitive games at home, but already blew the one to Washington State. I think DJU in this rush game will be very focused. I think their run game will be able to travel here, and they'll be able to run all over California. While Ott and Jackson are pretty good for Cal, they had a tough time pulling away last weekend against inferior opponents. I like Oregon State to win on the road there. So that concludes our Week 6 betting logs. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and comment your own predictions below.